family of one. Once again, it's the Melanin Man, aka a voice of consciousness is the Melanin Man. Alright, so I had a title, but it was too long. So I'm going to do it like in two parts. This will be the first part of, what is it? Has the game been successfully playing you? Has the game been successfully playing you? What game, you might ask? Okay. Well, first of all, let's just say, thank you to everyone that supports and continually encourages me with what I'm doing. I thank you. I appreciate the time that you take, and obviously you feel like it's worth it, so thank you so much. I'm humbled and appreciative at the same time. As Sister Dama used to say, or she started, first person I ever heard say, I appreciate love you. Alright, so today's date is the 13th of June 2022. And once again, this is the Melanin Man coming to you live. I will start to do some live stuff. I'm going to want to introduce more interviews with people as I used to do, 5-6 years ago on Blog Talk Radio, before the podcast thing really hit, but people had Blog Talk. So I'm probably gonna be reaching out to, various people, and hopefully, they'll say, hey, no problem. I'm a little fledgling, so to speak, here at this YouTube thing anyway. Been in the business doing a whole bunch of different things and supporting the communities and giving back and all kind of stuff. So, and that's not really important. What's really important is that we focus our attention on the mechanisms that will work in this time that we're in, that we already have. So, has the game been successfully playing you? So many may say, what game? This is real life. Man, people are dying, people are hungry, the world's in a state of chaos, and we are on the verge of World War III, and all of the low frequency energies that one can think of to justify this not being a game. Not too often do I hear people say, energy, frequency, and vibration transitions. It expands. You can't destroy it. It is eternal. It is infinite. And so, and then let's look at the quantum field of possibilities, which is the microcosmic, cosmological aspect of your being. See, we don't look at that. We think about it's only what I can see, feel, touch, smell, taste, and hear. Technically, probably, literally, it's all an illusion. These are light shows. These are pretty much how energy moves. And the energy that's moving is different aspects of light. You are a specifically transcendent aspect of light. Now, you may not see it that way because you've never been talked to about it to the extent where you can understand what it really means. However, everything on this realm of possibilities, if you will, excuse me, is a light show. It's a light show. You are a condensed aspect, condensed form of light that's refracting and being played upon or played with, or, well, actually you are, because your soul, for those of you who have souls, sits outside of time, sits outside of gravity, sits outside of the realm that we've come to be so comfortable with, and the mindset that we have attached to this convenience and comfort level. It sits outside of that. Yes, it's seated, the seed of your soul is seated in your heart, and you are the essence of a particular specific aspect of light. Now, light is vibratory, light is frequency, light vibrates. Energy, frequency, vibration. It also has a sound. Sound and light and color. There's different levels of variations of the resonance. However, it's represented. It's the same thing represented in different ways. You are the essence of the all there is, represented differently throughout all there is. So, consequently, it's a game. Those who are aware of what they call a matrix. Matrix only means mother, womb. You know, they ain't gonna tell you that we're still in the womb. You're not being told that matter is mother, is mind. You're not being told a lot of things because it's already in you. And since it's already in you, who's responsible for extracting what is known ethereally? Not physically, not metaphysically, not scientifically, not numerically, ethereally, which is connected to spirit, which is connected to consciousness. However, has the game been successfully playing you? Is the question. For some, the answer is yes. For many, the answer is yes. For a select few, and we're not here to select anyone, we're not here to judge anyone, we're not here to determine you got it, you don't got it, you can't get it, you get it, that's childish stuff. But think about the game. Think about the fact that this is a game to those who quote unquote can afford to play and make up the rules, or so they think. And think about Mama Pig and Simon Says and Captain May I, Life, Sorry, Monopoly. Those are board games, and other games are physical. Hide and seek. Again, these are all different form. What is it? Sorry, Stratego, playing doctor. You play house. When you were children, you played mama and daddy, and you had the little easy bake oven for your wife. She fixed meals. You could actually cook with a light bulb and all of this is a game. And when you think about the levels of immaturity that now fuels how we live, the thoughts and the ideals that fuel how we live is of an immature nature. It's not a nature of maturity. It's not about, I remember sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt. I remember that. And maybe I'm dating myself in terms of speaking on that, but I remember that. Now, anything you say, you got to be careful. You're hurting somebody's feelings, and you have to be, I apologize, or whatever the case may be, because you said something that they didn't like, or you said something that this group didn't like, or you said something or did something. Well, just really words now. Now words turn you into what is it, savage? You say a word and somebody just lose it. It's all over. Hey, you can't bring them back because they said that word, and this word is. And when you think about, let's just say it, nigga. We've been programmed and processed through ignorance, because that's a freaking disease, as well as any type of virus ever known to man, ignorance. So in the Bible, since people use the Bible, it's a big deal, and that's important project, or important, doctrine of literature that is governing a lot of people's minds. And it's really a game, because you're told to worship someone that really didn't exist, because it was based on principles of how to become beingness. However, it got translated to actually be an historical edit. It wasn't historical when it was written initially, but it has become an historical doctrine that people live by. And it's amazing how you look at a pale person or image that is the son of this deity that is jealous, got a favorite group of people that's kind of biased in every aspect against. So again, and you're taught to, or you're conditioned and programmed to accept this without question. You can't question it. You question it, it's a problem. When you start asking questions, there's an issue. Whatever, you can't question this highest deity, because it's really not. So the problem becomes a problem when you question it, because there's no answers to ignorance. However, getting back to the game. The game has always been to control, manipulate, and be master over people for personal gains, for specific reasons, personal, maybe even for the group, for to be hired to, jealousy. It's just all kind of nonsense that's associated with how this game is played. And it is a game. It is a game. The whole idea is to harmonize, balance, your it's a way to it's a dancing of sorts. It's a cohesiveness with the seen and the unseen. There's a seen realm you see, then there's an unseen realm. Unseen realm is cause. The seen realm is effects. We've been experiencing and being conditionally programmed from the outside in. So the world of effects, we've been taught to define the cause by the effects, not the other way around. The cause you don't see. The cause may be, again, energy, frequency, vibration. That's everything. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, everything is energy, frequency, vibration. However, the conditioning and the programming has been one of, well, let's define what's happening and then we can tell you what the problem is. Like you go to the doctor, they treat symptoms. They don't get to the root of cause or the root of the core or the root of the problem. They look at it, define what it is they see, give you some technical term, and go home with some medicine. Something artificial, something that's synthetic, not natural, and now you have a different issue because there's side effects. Again, it's a game, because the name of the game is keep you coming back. It's like the drug dealer. If you're not buying the product, he's not in business. So if you're going to a surgeon but he ain't cutting on you, he ain't in business long because he got a cut. So all of these things go into playing the game. Now you have to know you're playing the game though. A lot of people don't know it. They're in it, playing the game, don't know the rules, but they're playing the game. They think the name of the game is get money. You are the currency. You already have whatever is valuable. So it's not about getting some perceived value and using it to egotistically wear and break or misuse or abuse somebody else. But that's the training, because it's about corporations, and corporations don't have feelings. There's no compassion in a corporation. And those people that hide behind the desk or wear these titles, they can only do so much. Even if they want to, they can only do so much. Because if you're doing too much, that's outside of the edicts of the company, you won't be in your position long, or you won't have a company. So it's a game. It's numbers game. It's about the scientist gives you theories, gives you formulas around how to make that theory work. But we're talking about a theory. So that means you need people to buy into the idea of this theory. And you get enough people with enough energy buying into the idea of what that theory is, and now it's in motion. It is active. Energy, frequency, and vibration. It has an energetic resonance. The frequency, somebody's tuning in, and it's vibrating at some level. This is everything that we do, family. This is everything we do. There's no one, I challenge you to find anyone that does it any differently. You know, the way you apply your mind to the idea of hurt, sorrow, pain, anguish, jealousy, fatigue. It's you generating energy, which creates a vortex of resonance that draws or repels. There's only two things that's happening when you focus with your intention. You're drawing something to you, experiences that are going to be in line with what it is that you're carrying in you, or you're repelling. You're not creating anything. Remember, you have a quantum field of possibilities. It's endless, infinite. So there's every and any possible idea. There's a lane or a path for that. And you're connected to it. Whatever path you decide you want to roll with. And your brain or your mind or the concept is to move synaptic nerves to create pathways that maybe not have ever existed, or loop those that you're comfortable with. So again, you can look at and read books and all this kind of stuff, and that's fine. I don't offer any books. I've read quite a few books. I mean, Chikanta Diop's, civilizational barbarism, just really opened me wide up with the understanding and overstanding of, what we're dealing with. Autobiography of Malcolm X. Something with you're the book. There's a gazillion, let me try to be more realistic. There are possibly more than likely millions of lifetimes that's contained in your DNA that you have access to. Nobody else can get to them, but you can. And if you're meditating, if you sincerely moving with an intention to want to know, have a desire and a will to want to know how you connect and fit with all of this and how this really works, you'll get the answers. That's what I did. I asked the questions. Over time, I started getting answers. And after a while, they started coming quicker and quicker. And we're in a time now where you're going to get answers a lot faster than you ever have. If you really want to know. If you're sincere. See, you got to be sincere. And again, back to the game. You got to play a game with yourself. Not one to try to fool yourself, because that's foolish. That's ignorant. You're not going to fool yourself, because yourself is the all that sees all. Your third eye, which is the first eye, during conception in the womb, this first eye was very much aware and connected and sees all. Saw you coming to where you are now, saw you before you even became whatever you are now. So there's a genuine connection that is irrefutable. What we've been given is theories, conjecture. Even one of the biggest dudes, what's his name? Einstein, theory of relativity. I've spoken on it before. Same thing. Theory. See, we got to learn how to break down these words too, because the words have energy, and you feed the words energy from your source. Theory of relativity. First of all, it's a theory, and it only became something, and it's a formula that bears out the theory. However, now it doesn't work. Scientists are now trying to do quantum, and it doesn't work. All of the stuff that was given in the 20th century or 19th century, it don't work now in the 21st century. They're still trying to hold it up, but they need you to hold it up. They need melanin. They need melanin to hold it up. They need melanin to keep this thing alive, because it's pretty much dead, all but dead. So first, it's a theory. That's the first thing we must pay attention to. The words mean something, even though we may not understand it. There are a lot more to it, and if you search and dig and do your concordances and all that stuff, I've been meditating more than 30 years. Started out with relaxation response, have done some yoga, do some yoga. There's breathing exercises. There is sun gazing. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can do naturally that will open you up to when you're sincere. If you're playing games and you just, well, let me see, I want to try it. I just want to see how. No, it's not going to reveal. This is kind of like the secret personalized. You can't fool yourself. So if you're personally seeking and you're sincere and genuine, it will be revealed to you. But if you're just trying to try something and you're scared and you really, I don't, well, they say, well, I can't make no money off of that, so you're not going to get it. And I'm not interested in making any money off of any of this. That's why I've had a website for over almost 2 years, not showing it, put it out there once. Why? Because I know it's while economics is important, it's not so important that I do it for economics. I don't know if I said that right, but I know what I meant. So, yeah, I'd like to be compensated for that which I do, which isn't work, by the way. However, to do it only for, to get paid or get somebody to justifiably feel like, you're worth something. This is worth something, so I need to charge you something. Nah, that's not sincere or genuine. Where's the compassion for those who cannot read? Where's the compassion for those who don't know how to put it together? They got it in their mind, they have spirit, and that spirit speaks to them. But what about being able to actualize, activate, and really move on it? well, you got to read this book. You got to. What about if you don't read or you don't have a book to read? So now you can't access this, or you cannot tune in, turn on, and turn it up unless you read a book. I have to give you no. You're the book. You're the book, and you have a creative imagination that is connected to the consciousness that streams throughout everything that exists. And so you can do it by being sincerely honest with yourself. How seriously, how bad do you want it? Championship game on the line, game 7. How bad do you want it? You're already a champion. You already have the team in place. You've been managing and monitoring and taking care of business for as long as there ever been anything called business. However, somebody said, oh, your team ain't that good, or, well, look, they missed that shot, or they didn't quite get the home run when it was needed. They didn't get the touchdown. It, two yards from the end zone, and you didn't quite score it, so that makes you less, or you're not as good, or these are the types of things that, again, this is a game. This is a game, and it's a mind game. Yeah, the biggest part of this game, it involves evoking or invoking consciousness through the subconscious avenues. Now, how do you get to the subconscious? Well, you keep repetitiously repeating those things that you are, as you are. We are all divine. This is a divine existence. This is your divinity, walking, talking, breathing, doing whatever. And all you need to know is that you are divine. All you need to know is that this is a divine experience, whatever you're experiencing. Because there's nothing that's not. So when you start to plant your flag on what you know, not what you believe, because what you believe you can't prove. Belief based on someone else's idea of something, and you say, oh yeah, that sounds kind of right. Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. No. What do you know? 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 What do you know? Tell me about my hope, and I believe that's true. Or, I got faith. What is that? If you're not speaking from a place of confidence, from a place of knowing, then you're speculating. And if you're speculating, you can't fool yourself. Yourself knows you're not sure. And yourself is not going to allow you to access that which you're not sure of. That which you're speaking about, wanting to be sure, but you're not sure of. So you're not going to really get it. It's a metamorphosing, it's a transitioning. Transitioning, like death. That's another biggie. Everybody's afraid of death. You don't know what's going on. You're just afraid of it, but you have no clue as to what it is. All you know is the person you remember is no longer available physically. You don't know what's going on ethereally. We don't talk about how you can actually access that energy, because the whole idea is there's entities that utilize that energy, that when they transition is being utilized to hold on to the low frequency, or to hold on to a vibratory frequency that keeps those entities feeding, consuming. And if you're feeding and you're consuming, then you still have life. So we're not here to feed on or be fed by anything other than source, anything other than, and again, it's all divine. So even if you are being fed on, maybe you're one of those that's being sacrificed. I don't know. That is, again, there's no right or wrong. It's only consciousness. There's only an awareness. There's only a memory of how to be aware or remember who you are. And when you do that, then things open up. If you don't do that and you have no clue as to what that is or what that means or how that works, then, at some point it'll happen for you. There's no better, worse. There's only consciousness. There's no conscious community unless you're talking about everything, because everything is conscious. Everything has a consciousness. We're talking about molecularly. Energetic energy moves. There's no, in a rock, there's activity, even though it's not moving. So it's just so much that's going on that we're just not privy to, those of us who don't want to know, who's afraid to, step into the game. Well, some might want to play the game of money, some might want to play the game of being in the streets and juggling drugs, and some might want to play the game of, I got a business, and some want to, but it's all, none of it's wrong. None of it's wrong. None of it's wrong. I know what y'all saying. What are you talking about? You talking about the drugs? Yeah. You already know. There's legal drugs, and it's not right. That legal drugs, they sold alcohol, and for decades you couldn't smoke marijuana, but alcohol was more dangerous than most of the drugs that was out there that was prescription. So we can't sit up and find fault in others because we don't do it, or because and then the other part of the game is to be unattached. You can't be hooked or what is the word? You can't be you can't have a Jones or I'm at a loss for words with the word that I'm looking at, but a junkie. You can't be a junkie for anything. You cannot be a junkie. You're divine. You can have the experience. However, that's it. You gotta know when to say when and when to back up and say, nah, I'm good. I don't need to have that experience. Or if you have the experience, know when to say when. Know when to stop. So that's what I'm saying. Has the game been successfully playing you? The title was a little longer, but I'm going to use the other part of it probably for next week. Because all of this is a game. This isn't just a game to those people who can afford to play it economically, financially. It's a game to those who are aware and know who they are, ethereally, because that's what this whole place is for anyway. Is for you to enjoy. Now you can be miserable and not enjoy it, so it can be your hell. Oh, they say it's a prison planet, and it's a this and a that. Maybe it is. It's still divine, and you have the ability to find your peace and find happiness and harmony and all that in this crazy, mixed up, whatever place you're in. Now the question becomes, how seriously dedicated are you about finding your peace, finding your happiness, doing whatever? How sincere or genuine are you? Because that's what it boils down to. It comes back to you. It ain't about somebody out there and they said this and this, who shot. It's not about any of that. Though we've been conditionally programmed to think that those things matter. And because they matter to somebody else, then we become emotionally entangled. You know, that entanglement that your girl was talking about at some point was not a sexual thing. I mean, it can be. Obviously it was, based on what she was expressing. However, that word entanglement speaks to the energy, frequency, and vibration on various levels that magnetize and seeks like energy, frequency, and vibration in the midst of chaos. That's the entanglement, and it's not a bad thing. See, again, we so caught up in bad, good. Oh, this is not good. This is not bad. This is not. We get caught up in defining that which we don't know anything about, and we let others define groups of people, define activities, define all types of things, and we base our life momentum and premise around somebody else's definition of you, me, we as one with divinity. And they don't know. We let somebody define what death is. We don't know. You know, and from what I understand, it's nothing like it's been sold. See, all of this is a game. It's all a game. Whether we want to play or think it is or like it or don't like it, you know, we don't call it a game because this is important or that's it's important to you. There's nothing wrong with it being important to you. Doesn't mean that that's the only way or the only thing of importance that you can make. You have the ability, your imagination, you have the ability, your creativity, you have the ability to rearrange anything at any time. All it takes is a sincere dedication, willful intention with an open heart, and you can change anything, no matter what the situation is. And you probably, I take that back, you have had experiences where it seemed like no way, but you got through it because you are divinity. This is not divinity. It does not undermine itself. It's not here to bring you down, mistreat you, disrespect you. You know, that's the ignorance of the world that we're living in, and to the degree that we allow it to affect us and how we move and what we do and how we think and how we live. It's on you. And if you're not interested in making a change in your life based on what you know, not what somebody said and I heard what they talk about, you know, if you don't know it by now, all of the news is a production. Everything you see on TV is a production. It's a game. What they're doing. When you go to the movies, what are they doing? Acting. But many worship these people that's just like you or me. Well, maybe not. Many worship these people, give them the status of God because they've done so many movies and they've been in the business for so long and they so much reverence and respect for them because they know their body of work. They don't know your body of work, so you're not important. But these people that have been at this for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, and they make X amount of dollars, they're important. And I need your autograph. I've never got an autograph. I've taken a few pictures with people because I respect what they've done or what they do, comedians or ball players, whatever. But it's a respect thing. And just want to share that moment. But I don't look up to, worship, not a fan of anyone. Respect everyone. Not a fan of anyone. Because there's no one's better. It doesn't matter. What you do doesn't make you better. How you think doesn't make you better. What you have doesn't make you better. Your resources are different. We have to redirect the low frequency energies that we've been harnessing, release them for the best aspect of yourself. So that invokes and evokes a higher resonance. It takes you to another level. It allows you to magnetize yourself to different experiences, because that's all we're doing. We're having various experiences, with this person, that person, this situation, this circumstance, this building, that building, this environment, that environment. It's experiences. And when you don't allow yourself the freedom to have an experience in the now moment that's liberating and allowing you to be openly free to enjoy the process, because that's what is happening. And all of this has been a process. We're in a state of being all the time, being what? Divine. We're always in the state of being divine. You may have not been what you thought was divine 10 years ago, but look at you now. It's a different. So we've been conditioned and programmed to limit and reduce ourselves, and that was to justify others so that they can feel good about themselves. I need to step on your neck in order for me to get to see over you. I need to step on you. In order for me to be above you, I gotta be on your neck. This is important for me to feel like I'm important. And so I need to process. I need to step on you. I need to reduce you, make you feel less. In essence, the individual entity that's doing this feels less. They're projecting what they are and what they're thinking and how they're feeling. They're projecting their energy on you, and you absorb it. Melanin-rich people absorb a whole host of things. Because of melanin, we can handle it. Now, depending on how you think about what and who you are, it may be overwhelming. It may be too much for you. Like me saying that this is a game. And the question is, has the game been successfully playing you? That might be too much. You might can't, what are you talking about, a game? This ain't no game. My rent is due. It's a game. It's a game. And it's a game that you have been successful at more times than you know or than you remember. And when you think about it, that's why it's important to be grateful, be thankful, always look to be humbled in the moment, because it's always revealing some aspect of yourself that you may not have forgotten, or you may not know much about, or you may have, just kind of the light bulb goes on. So it's important to know who you are, but not based on what somebody else says. It must be you researching. If you can go on Google and find information, you can go inside of you and find information too. But you have to be sincere, and you have to want it. This is not something that you're just gonna get just cause you. Well, maybe you can. I don't know, because there is a quickening, and so no one can really say what or what's not or whatever. But what I can say, unequivocally, is the patriarchal system is no more. Now you still have patriarchy, of course, but the matriarchal system is coming online. That's what I do know. And that's where we are. It's about balance. We've had the patriarchal thing for a long time, or maybe it ain't been that long. However, it's gotten to a place where it's no longer functional, because we're in a different paradigm. We've shifted and we moved to another resonance, another frequency by which this energy is master. And you have to fall in line, follow along, go along with it, get with it, roll with it, or be rolled over, like they said in New Jack City. So it's a whole lot of things but if you see it and understand it as a game, because it is, and it's one that you are winning. You have won a gazillion times before. You will continue to win, because divinity doesn't seek to undermine itself. Now, if you don't think you're divine, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But what I know is divinity doesn't seek to undermine itself. So it's not going to put you in a situation, circumstance. Well, some people say, oh, it's the universe. Okay? Universe. Why? Your own universe. You. You. Your own universe. You are it. Now, you don't have to be, we're not in competition. We got to get that out of our heads. We have to get that mindset of something being better and less than, but I like the way so and so and so and so do it. That's a preference, and it's okay. But we have to let go of all of the stuff that we've been given that's kept us captive. See, there's a captivated, incarcerated mindset based on energy, frequency, and vibration that is now come to release you, come to relieve you, come to allow you to move beyond that stagnant, low frequency place where you cannot go beyond. Yes, you're going beyond now. So I'm going to wrap it up. But has the game been successfully playing you? That's the question. And again, it's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer to me or anyone, actually. But since you're here, think about it. And then what you're going to do about it. Because if you determine whatever you determine, now the next thing is action. What you going to do? That's the whole idea about all of this. What experience are you looking to have that's going to help you resonate with what it is that is needed in this now moment for you? It don't matter if you do whatever you. It's not about me for you. It's about you for you. It's about me for me. And then we're connected to the all of everything anyway. So whatever I'm doing will generate a vortex and open up a black hole that will allow magnetism at the level of resonance where everything is going. So we're riding a wave. It's not about, oh, you go to the black hole, you're going to go. It's only if you in that low frequency state of mind. It's only if you're pulling you're processing consciousness that's less than what you have the ability to process. See, all of this stuff is you cannot disconnect. You can in your mind, but you've never been disconnected. Somebody told you you don't have this and you can't do that and you are not this and we need you need magic and all this. None of that stuff exists except for you deciding what you want to do to make it be relevant to you. So the theory of relativity, as I was speaking about, Einstein was talking about, well, we talked about it was being a theory. So we know a theory is not reality. A theory is not reality. Let's be clear on that. And then it was a theory of relativity. And now the question should be, relative to what? If it's relative to me, then I get to pick, choose, and decide what and how I apply myself to whatever situation it is. Not some formula that has to fit a narrative that somebody else created. Ain't got nothing to do with me. So we have to be real clear about this. So that's why I say, again, I keep looking at it, has the game been successfully playing you? Because somebody or somebody's is very much acutely aware of this is a light show. All of the things that we're talking about in this society, you started as a child playing games. Now you're adult still playing games. And you're making the games more supposedly quote unquote deadly to where it really matters and it really means something. And it really doesn't. It's just really how you apply yourself and really how you think about what's going on and how sincere you are about really wanting to know how you fit in all of this. How does that connect to me? Well, if it has nothing to do with me, then I need to move on. So, love, family, it's a pleasure and an honor. It's always a pleasure and an honor. It's never not been. Because what I know is my love is internal. However, because of the compassion, it generates throughout. And so every experience that I have or every experience that I'm encountering, my mindset is different with a renewed mind. You don't see it the way you used to see it. It's not a negative experience. You look for what nuggets do I need or what nuggets are necessary for me to move to another level, because it's preparing me for another level. All of this has been in preparation to get to the next level, whatever that level is, for divinity, because divinity is expanding. There's no evolution. You may have evolution with the dog or animals or barbarians, but for energy, frequency, and vibration, there's no evolution. There's only transitioning. You transition from one space or place or time or frequency to another. There's really no death, to be honest with you. However, but that's another whole nother story. So love you with a perfect love, and it's always great to share this space and time and this energy, frequency, and vibration with you. All right? Peace.